And we are now joined by John Hunter Nemechek, driver of the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Thank you for joining me, John. John Hunter, what's it been like transitioning to the Xfinity Series this year from the Truck Series last year?
It's been a good transition. Being able to at least run a few Xfinity races within the JGR organization over the last couple of years, while being a KBM has definitely been good for me. A lot of the guys I worked with while I was there over the past 2 years are on my team this year. So relationships have kind of been established and have been working pretty hard on those. So it's been a good year so far. I've liked the transition into the Xfinity Series, and being able to go contend for wins right off the bat is always a really good feeling.
What was your initial reaction when you found out that Sonoma would be on the Xfinity schedule for the first time ever, having raced there last year into the truck? What was your initial reaction?
I think looking at any racetrack that's being added, there's positives about it, and then there's negatives about it. The Xfinity cars haven't been to Sonoma. I don't know. Have they ever been to Sonoma?
No, you'll be the first time at Sonoma ever, and then the track's history.
Yeah, so that's pretty insane. So a lot of unknowns, let's put it that way, for the Xfinity cars and the package that we run. So not having laps there in an Xfinity car, who knows? There's a lot of unknowns going into the weekend. So excited about that. Have to adapt fast. Hopefully we bring the right package. But Sonoma as a racetrack is amazing. Elevation changes, tire fall off, hard corners, everything's different. So I had a good time there in the truck last year. We had a solid day. Looking forward to going back in the Xfinity Series and trying to have an even better day.
What from last year in the truck could transfer over? I mean, I know the truck and the Xfinity car are completely different animals, but is there anything that can transfer over to that for you at all?
Yeah, I think that there's quite a bit, to be honest, as far as line wise. Um, Tire management, just that racetrack is really hard. Without actually running laps there and getting used to the track surface and how your car reacts to long runs, how rubber reacts on the racetrack. There's a lot of different things that play into Sonoma being a key racetrack. So I know that I won't have probably the most notes going into Sonoma or the most laps going into Sonoma, but definitely feel good about the experience that I've had there. And hopefully we have a really strong day when we go.
Do you feel like guys like you, Chandler Smith, some of the guys that went up from the truck series last year have a slight edge just because you saw the track last year?
Um, that's hard to say. I do feel like being able to have laps there is better. The unknowns of not going there and trying to figure it out quick can be difficult. Somebody can always put down one fast lap for sure, but racing there, passing, trying to put your car in different positions, figuring out what curbs work for your car to turn, what to stay away from, tire management. I feel like more laps and more experience, the better.
Talk to me about your season overall. Obviously, you've gotten the 2 wins at Auto Club and then Martinsville. Besides that, you've been running the top five all it seems like every week. What has clicked for you just to where you're up front every single week, it seems like?
Confidence in myself, confidence in our 20 team, confidence in Joe Gibbs Racing as an organization, confidence in our Toyota GR Supras. Just we've been strong, we've been fast. The guys that I have around me are really great guys. We seem to click pretty well, and we've had fast cars every week that we showed up to the racetrack. So it's been a really good year to start. I'm looking forward to continuing throughout this year and trying to keep the same momentum. But we just got to win some more races. Yes, 2 wins is great, but I feel like we've given one or two away. So just got to be a little bit better, keep being consistent, and keep running up front.
I don't want to talk about one that you got away, but I gotta ask, man. Your last time out on the track, you and Larson battled. Was that clean racing? Take me through your side of that. I'm just curious. I have to ask this.
Yeah, it definitely was hard racing. He kind of pinched me a little bit in the fence getting in three, and that upset my car enough to where I had to slow down a little bit getting into the corner, and then we both hit the fence in the center. Felt like I had to run off of the corner, off of turn 4, and so did he. Except he had the fence to kind of bounce off of, and I had him to bounce off of. So the gap kind of closed up between us really fast when he hit the fence, and just ran out of real estate. But was going to be a really close finish. Good hard racing. We battled really, really hard. And anytime that the Cup guys come down to the Xfinity Series and you're able to run against guys like that, it teaches you a lot. So one in the memory bank for sure. Hopefully we can go back to Darlington this fall and go kick everyone's butt.
Well, speaking of running against Cup guys, I'm sure you've heard, but the Cup Series guys are going to be in the Xfinity field at Sonoma. Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain are the ones that are confirmed. What are your thoughts on racing against those guys? And, Ross is aggressive, and you've obviously been racing with Kyle already this year. So what are you expecting when the Cup guys join you guys for that race?
Well, hopefully those two go take each other out. I think there's some beef between them, right? So who knows? But we'll just use hashtag blame Ross for whatever situation may arise during the Xfinity race. No, I enjoy when the Cup guys come down, like I said, and race against us. I feel like it makes us better. So Kyle Larson has definitely been one of the best guys in the NASCAR ranks over the last few years, and pretty much anything he drives. I mean, the guy's a wheelman. So who knows how the race at Sonoma is going to play out, but he's been fast there in a Cup car. Hopefully we can go outsmart him and beat him.
What has it been like from the driver's perspective, where there's no stage breaks, where there's, yes, stage breaks, but there's no cautions at the end at these road courses? Does it change anything having to come in mentally like, okay, we're not going to have a caution this lap? What was it like at Coda? And take me through what you're expecting at Sonoma with that.
Yeah, your strategy can change quite a bit. Different things that you're focusing on, right? Are you focusing on stage points, or are you focusing on trying to win the race? So I think that there's a lot that plays into that, depending on how you're running, how your day's going, where you're at in position wise. So Coda was okay in my opinion. I felt like the race played out pretty well there. We still had cautions around the same time that we had stage breaks. It just happened to work out that way. But thoroughly enjoyed the long runs and trying to conserve tire and make your car better, and pitting under green. So a lot of different factors to play in.
Now, Sonoma is part of a back-to-back of road courses where I assume you guys are going to be using the same cars with at Portland as you are at Sonoma. So what, if anything, is going to transfer from those two different racetracks?
Yeah, I'm not 100% positive if we're going to be using the same cars or not, but I think the only thing that transfers from those two racetracks or the road courses, you're turning left and right. Two totally different racetracks for sure. Sonoma has a lot of elevation changes. Portland seems to be pretty much flat. Not a lot of elevation change or rolling hills like in the hills of Sonoma. So just completely different racetracks. I feel like tire fall off will be close to the same probably. I feel like Portland surface might be a little on the older side. So who knows? I've never been to Portland, so I can't give you a huge comparison back to back. Just going to have to get up to speed pretty quick.
What else are you going to do to prepare for Sonoma? I know a few years ago when I talked to Tyler Reddick, he said that he went in the sim and did a lot of work. Are you going to be doing some of that too to prepare for the DoorDash 250?
Yeah, for sure. I think just being in sim, watching video, watching film from different races over the past few years. Nothing to necessarily go back and watch from the Xfinity Series, but there definitely have been a lot of cars on that racetrack, and just seeing what guys' tendencies are, what they do when they're fast, and how they kind of manage their equipment. So a lot of preparation going into it.
And then lastly, there's a lot of new with you guys in the Xfinity Series side of Joe Gibbs Racing this year. Obviously, you have Ben Bayshore, but you also have two teammates, the part-time car 19 car, and then Sammy Smith. What's it been like working with all three you guys with those teams? Because it's quite frankly a lot of new all in one year this year.
Yeah, it is a lot of new within the JGR Xfinity department, but it's been good. Sammy and I get along really well. We actually went and rode mountain bikes this weekend on our off weekend together. So just one of those things that we continue to try and build a relationship between the two of us and communicate well, try and make the whole organization better. But all three cars have been in victory lane so far this year within the JGR Xfinity organization, and I don't think that that's been done in quite some time. So it's awesome to see a lot of new come in, a lot of new ideas as well, and we just continue to try and push the envelope to be better.
And then how closely do you work with the Cup guys, Martin, Denny, Ty, and Christopher? How closely are you associated with those guys and their crew chiefs?
I'm closer with some of those guys than others. Talk to some more than others, but overall, if we reach out and ask a question, or at least for myself, there's not a lot of hesitancy on answering that. So being able to have a relationship with those guys and race against them and kind of build on that it has definitely been good over the past, and bouncing ideas off of them or whatever it may be you're asking for advice, I feel like is huge. So and enjoy every step of it.
Thank you very much, John Hunter. I hope to see you at Sonoma and catch up in person there. Anyway, good luck until then.
Thank you, appreciate it.